Welcome to another edition of the Focus Program. My name is Paul Dingerman. Host this program, which appears Marine City, St. Clair, all over St. Clair County. Always have some information for you and your family about events that are coming up and what's going on in our wonderful Blue Water area. No different this week. We've got representatives from St. Peter's Lutheran Church here in St. Clair. They're having an Oktoberfest. We'll hear all about that. Then Brian Moss will be along to talk about a play that the St. Clair Theater Guild is going to be putting on, and they need you to come and audition for Steel Magnolias. And finally, the latest new, exciting display from Port Huron Museum. You'll hear all about it. Behind the Barrels is the name of the program, and we'll hear about that later this afternoon, tonight, whenever you're watching. Let's welcome back to the Focus Set, Mr. Brian Neiman. Nice to see you.
Welcome.
Good. See you, buddy.
Great to be here.
And Marty Green. Nice to meet you.
Thank you.
Welcome to the Focus Set. You're being accompanied by a bodyguard here.
Yeah.
Yes.
Marty didn't want to come alone. You're a tough interviewer.
Oh, yeah.
He was afraid you were going to ask the tough
like
questions.
Lou Gordon. You remember Lou Gordon? You guys are too young to remember Lou Gordon.
I remember Lou.
You remember Lou?
Yes.
Well, welcome. You are here representing St. Peter's
Yes.
Lutheran,
Correct.
and down the street from St. Mary's.
Yes.
And you are having a big annual Oktoberfest. When is it? What is it? Why is it?
Well, Oktoberfest started about 4 years ago, so this is our 4th year, and we're pretty excited about it. And we've had a great turnout every year. It's a really fun family atmosphere. A lot of fun kid games during the day to start on Saturday, the 11th. And so we start Saturday 11th about 3 o'clock. We'll have knockwurst, some German potato salad,
Knockwurst.
and yes,
Knockwurst.
exactly. Well, the difference there between bratwurst and knockwurst is knockwurst actually has beef in it as well as pork, so it's a little trivia for you. But
guess.
yeah, so it's a great, it's a lot of
And
fun.
you would know.
I would know. Well, what we make them. So
It's our own recipe.
exactly, it's
Ooh.
St. Peter's secret recipe.
Okay.
So they're
He
very
comes
good.
down from heaven on Friday night.
He does.
Starts
Yes.
working.
Yes, he does. He comes down. So he does a nice job with it. But yeah, no, it's a lot of fun. Marty and I are on the committee to put this together, and a lot of the times the funds for that go to help promote our children's programs
Okay.
and that sort of stuff.
Okay.
So it's been a lot of fun.
For years, we've covered Sue Daniels' Christmas Pageants, which is a big children's program
Yep.
for St. Peter's, and it's always a cute Christmas display with the
Yep.
creche and everything, and it really sets off the Christmas time.
Yeah.
Your involvement, Marty?
Yes, I am. I've actually been chairing the committee this year for it, and we've got a real fun time planned. Each year we've had it, it's grown quite a bit. We've gotten a really great turnout. Even the second year when the weather was quite bad.
Well,
So that's when we knew we had a successful event, when a lot of people came out when the weather was bad.
I'm disappointed that Mr. Neiman and you did not come in lederhosen today, because
Yes.
the first time 4 years ago they honored us with the lederhosen, but it's in the laundry again,
Yes. Well,
or maybe it's
a
shrunk.
lot of viewers last time asked us not to wear lederhosens again, so we have that's just
There's
not
that
it's-
crowd too.
There is a
They
group that
told me
doesn't.
we didn't
Group
have a
that
size
wants
big
it.
enough for me.
And the group that doesn't want it is getting larger and larger.
Yes, correct. They're a much more vocal group than the
Yes.
people that want to see us in lederhosens. Yeah, but it's a good thing. But we added a really great event this year,
Okay.
and that is a beanbag cornhole tournament the night before.
Oh, okay.
So that starts at 6 o'clock. The 6 to 7 is warm up, signing up, getting. So if you have a partner, bring it. If you don't, we'll put you with a partner. But we were sitting around last year and we go, it's Friday night. We have the tent. We
Let's
have
do
the
something.
beer. We got to do something with
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
So we're going to do that. So, and again, that is going to go. The funds from that are going to help remodel our kitchen to help make.
Oh,
We
beautiful.
put new stoves in this year to help make help put a lot of the pretzels and stuff that we use this year. So
Yeah.
before we were kind of cooking them over at the store and then
Yeah.
running back and forth, but now we can do it right there. And so we're looking forward to a good time that night. So come on out. We'll have hot dogs and limited menu that evening. But it's a great event. Another chance to get out that night. So.
Round figure, get a feel for how many people went through in the last couple of years or last year or
I'm
so?
guessing between 300 and 400 people.
Oh, that's a
Yeah.
nice size. That's
Yep.
a nice size.
Yep.
And it's probably like other ones that happen, it's like a homecoming. People moved away, maybe they come home for this kind of thing?
Yeah, we have we have a new pastor at the church now.
Okay.
Yes.
We'll have to bring him in.
Yes, Pastor Ken started yesterday.
Okay.
And so he is.
So this will be sort of a rude awakening.
Yes.
He thought he was coming to a really holy place.
Whoa, wait a minute. You're having a beer Oktoberfest? I think that's what got him to come here. We'll see.
Okay.
But we'll see if
He's gone Monday morning.
That's right, exactly. We'll know. But we're pretty excited about it. It's a great. The nice thing about it is the whole evening and day is a fun family event. And Saturday night we've got Ted Pavlik and the Melody Maker. So dancing and polka dancing all night long and just having a really good time. And like I said, kids games during the day with jumpies and face painting and all sorts of stuff. So it's a great family fun atmosphere.
Is there an admission price?
No, it's free. We have a silent raffle going on, as well as a raffle where you can buy tickets with cash prizes. Our silent auction was very successful last year. We had a lot of really nice items, a lot of sports memorabilia and other items. Folks from the church have made different themed baskets that people can bid on, and we had some really nice stuff.
Good.
That was very successful.
There was last year Anthony Carter, University of Michigan, signed autograph jersey.
Wow.
A lot of stuff like that. We've got a member who that's his. I mean, he just goes around and gets autographs, and so he had all kinds of neat stuff.
Didn't come
Lots of
here.
good- so- no, right? Well, he hasn't got your autograph. Yeah, we sold your book last year, and we got a lot of returns. So
Right,
we're
right.
not going to sell that again this year.
People really enjoy the polka band.
Oh, yes.
The
That's
same
a great band.
Ted Pavlik, it'll be his fourth
Yeah.
year. We've had him each year.
Yeah, he's
and,
great.
He has a regular following that come
Yep.
and follow his band around,
Yep.
and I mean, it's really
Yeah, it's a great
lot of
time.
fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so it's October
11th
11th,
11th.
at 3 p.m.
10th and 11th?
Well, the 10th, 10th starts the 10th, which is the evening before with the beanbag cornhole tournament.
That's
and
Friday night.
Friday night. So that starts at 6. Be there between 6 and 7 to register, and or just come on out if you want a nice cold beer and watch some guys have some fun, and women, men and women, doesn't matter. And then Saturday, the next day, starting at 3 for the kid games and everything else, and off and running.
Okay, good.
Great.
A lot of activities for the family.
Marty, you're welcome back anytime. We don't know about this other guy, but Brian, good seeing
That's
you.
right.
First time.
Slow news week, they bring me back.
That's right. That's right. We're going to be back with Brian Moss and the director from Steel Magnolias from the St. Clair Theater Guild. They're opening up auditions and they need some actors, so stay tuned. A group that's around St. Clair for a very long period of time and has done wonderful theater plays is back at it again, and that's the St. Clair Theater Guild. And they're going to do Steel Magnolias to open up this season. Joining us now is the director and one of the members of the board, right? Are you a member of the board?
Actually, I'm president.
You're
this year.
president, the local president, Mr. Brian Moss, St. Clair Theater Guild, and Lucy Gillespie, nice to meet you, the director of Steel Magnolias. Brian, welcome back to the Focus Set.
Well, thank you very much. We're getting ready for this show. This is going to be the first one that Lucy's directed for us.
Okay.
We're real excited about that. And we're going to be doing it at the Knights of Columbus Hall
Oh, really?
in December. Yeah,
Really?
We've got to find some more places to
Venues.
play than what we've had in the past. So we're going to give that one a try. And I think, looks like it might be a lot of fun. It might work out real well.
Well, they got a small stage. Are you going to use the stage area?
We'll use that and add on to it. But
I think it's the perfect show to start off in there.
Okay.
It's a small show, 6 actresses, 1 set.
Okay.
That
And I think
part's
it's going to go very. I think it's going to go very well in that building.
Lucy, tell us about you. How did you
a-
get into directing?
Well, I'm a Richmond native.
Okay, we
I
won't hold that against you.
Thank you. I've spent a lot of time in St. Clair over the years. I have a theater and music background originally. My mom's a musician and a director. And
Oh, really?
I went to school for nursing, so I'm
Okay.
a registered nurse. But last year I decided I wanted to do something different, so I just finished up a year of intensive film school. So I've been writing and directing
Which
short
school?
films at the Motion Picture Institute
Yeah, in
Troy.
Troy, yeah.
Yep.
We
I
had a
just
couple
finished
fellows
that
come through here
program.
Mark Davis, who's now working out of Hollywood.
Okay.
And he's a set designer. Went there and is very successful.
Yeah,
Nice,
they-
nice young man.
They put out a good program
Yeah.
there. So I've learned a lot about writing and directing from them, and I've done a few short films now of my own. and
Wonderful.
I love theater. That's my heart. So this is one of my favorite shows. So I'm very honored.
Have you been in the Richmond theater group
As a child, yes.
as a child?
Through
Child
my
actress?
teenage years, yes. Yep, I grew up in that building and kind of ventured in a little different direction
Well,
as an
welcome
adult.
to this group. This is
Thank
a
you. You're a
long,
great group.
great group and great history at
Mm-hmm.
this group. Done a lot of great things. Steel Magnolias. Talk to me about that play in case I've never ever heard of it. Most people have, but to give me some background.
Most people have probably seen the movie.
Okay.
The writer, Robert Harling, wrote the stage play first
Okay.
back in the late 80s, and they made it into a film with Julia Roberts and
Mm-hmm.
Sally Field pretty quickly. But it's centered around the story of his sister. He had a younger sister that actually had diabetes and got very sick and passed away. It was a family tragedy. So he wrote this story about these 6 women and their relationships with her and with each other and how they chose to deal with the tragedy. And it's actually very comical, and it's a true testament to how strong women can be.
No, really?
Yes.
I didn't know. Brian, did you know that?
Yes.
We're fighters.
Oh, okay.
And so the whole story, it's centered around the 6 of them and finding humor even in the worst of situations.
You're here to talk to people about auditioning. Are
Auditioning.
you looking for male characters as well as
There are no
female?
male characters in this show. This is
Okay.
an all-female cast,
Okay.
and they're all characters.
Oh, what a boom.
Yeah, exactly. And so there's 6, and we're looking for the 6 players. It'll be the 13th of October and the 14th of October are the auditions.
Okay, those are what days of the week?
Monday and Tuesday.
Monday and Tuesday.
And that's at the Theater Guild building at 1456 Gough Street.
Okay.
And I mean, that's the bottom line. We're looking for some good actresses.
Are you looking for actresses probably that have had performances before? You're not looking necessarily for somebody who's never been on stage?
I'll take anybody. I mean, just because you've never done it before doesn't mean
You can't.
can't do it. I
That's
saw a
right.
pretty incredible performance last year when we did Oklahoma from a lady who'd never been on stage in her life. So, no, if you've got interest and you think you can give it a shot, come out and give it a shot for us. We need a couple younger actresses, probably late teens, 20s, and then 4 middle age through 60s, 70s.
Mhm.
So,
Okay,
all ages here.
go ahead.
Oh, but I was just taking a breath.
Well, talk to me about the rest of the year for St. Clair Theater.
Well, the next year, 2015, we will start out next March with Music Man.
Oh my God.
We've done that a few times before, and
It's
we'll
always
do
a
it a
good
few
play.
times again, I'm sure, but we're excited about that one. We will have, prior to that, I think, a fundraiser with dueling pianos.
Okay. They've worked
But
the area.
that's not
yeah.
set yet. And then in the fall next year, we're going to do Godspell.
Okay.
We did that at St. Pete's Church a few years back,
Mm-hmm.
but it's a small venue. We're going to try for a little bit bigger venue this
Mm-hmm.
coming fall. So that's what our upcoming season looks like.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
We're excited.
Well, good luck on. What do you say to a director? This is your first directorialship. You don't say break a leg, do
Theater,
you?
no, I don't know. I don't know what you say.
Huh? Good luck, maybe.
Break a leg's fine.
Break a leg, fine?
That'll work.
Okay. Break a leg. Break a couple of
Thank
them.
you.
I think you'll do well.
Thank you,
Brian,
Paul.
always a pleasure to see you.
Always.
Those of you that maybe did a little rum running a few years ago, will better stick around for our next set of guests because they're from the Port Erie Museum, and they've got a wonderful project called Behind the Barrel. We'll hear all about it in just a second. Port Huron Museum, what a world famous place. And I say that because they are growing and growing in their notoriety throughout the Midwest and throughout the United States and Canada, and hopefully worldwide. And they've had some wonderful displays. The storm of
1913.
1913 was just there, and the creator of that display and his wife are here to join us once again. Mr.
Douglas Bancroft.
Right, that was the name. It was right there in front of me. And Catherine Bancroft. Nice to see you both. Welcome back to the Focus Set.
Thank you.
You did have a wonderful success last fall with the storms of 1913.
Yes.
And great crowds, and you did a tremendous changeover of the building there.
Thank you.
And now you've done it again. Talk to me. Talk to me.
Yes. We've got a brand new show called Behind the Barrel. And for the last 4 years, I've been at the museum for 4 years. My wife's actually been there for 8 years. This is her 9th year. We design and fabricate the shows in-house. And we've got a brand new show called Behind the Barrel.
I love the name.
Thank you. It's all about Prohibition in the Port Huron area,
Yep.
in the Blue Water area. So we actually went a little step farther this time. We actually, instead of opening up 5,000 square feet, we opened up 7,500 square
Wow,
feet.
because it was a pretty big display last time.
Yes, we added the mezzanine to that section. So it's been a wonderful display, and the reviews have been great.
The one of the lines I had, and it's on the other sheet of paper that I had. Oh, nationwide prohibition, the sale of distribution and consumption of alcohol in the United States went into effect in 1920. The law was put into place. Demand for alcohol was not diminished. The demand was supplied by Port Huron area rum running from Canada. And even here in St. Clair and down at Algonac, it was a booming business.
Yes, there was actually over 75% of all alcohol that came into America during Prohibition.
75%.
Came right through Detroit.
And Al Capone's Chicago syndicate was a major portion of that importing business, I
Yes,
believe.
it was. Yep.
Amazing
So
stuff.
Came right over that river. We're so close to Canada.
Right.
It was just almost a logical place to kind of transport it in.
And there was another spin-off of that, which was the high-speed boats. Garwood and Chris Craft were guys down in Algonac that made boats. And there's another company, and the name now escapes me, but they were making boats, and they were making them for both sides.
Yes, they were.
They were
Yeah.
making them for the police department, and they were making them for the rum runners. So they had a great business going.
Yes, it was booming at that time.
Yeah.
Yes, they did.
You probably know the boat yard I'm talking about.
The feds, actually, you're absolutely right. The Blue Water Bridge hadn't been built yet.
Yeah.
The feds would sit right there where the mouth of Lake Huron is. The rum runners would run out, realize they were about to get caught, dump their stash, some of them filled with salt, so that it would sink to the bottom until the salt had dissipated and would actually float to the top.
Amazing. So they'd have salt inside of the alcohol.
Inside the canisters that they would dump in with the alcohol. And that's just
Ingenious.
one of the very few. I mean, they were actually, one of my favorite stories is the hearse that they used to send over to Sarnia. Sometimes they would put the body in it because the feds would catch on. So they were running booze that way. There was a pulley system with a wire under the river.
Came here in St. Clair.
Right here in St. Clair. And some of the tunnels that still survive today from that.
The Times Herald had a story, a front page story a couple of weeks ago about the Homeland Security and Customs and Border Patrol. And in that story, they talked about the 11 cameras that go up and down the river from Port Huron to Gull Island. And they said those were the spots that in the 20s and the 30s that the rum runners came over and came in used.
Yes.
So they put the cameras up in the same locations from the history of what rum runners used to do.
Absolutely.
Great stuff.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, let's see what you brought some pictures. Talk to me about what we're going to see here. I think we got a car. Talk to me about that.
Sure.
Yes, this is actually a Model A. One of our volunteers owns this car, and Doug had this great idea that it was going to go into the center of the rotunda. We actually had to try twice. The first time it didn't get in there.
Did you have to take the front door right off?
Yes, we did. We built a ramp, brought it right in, like I said, it did take us 2 times to get in, but it's finally in there, and it's a gorgeous showpiece.
Oh, it would be.
So bring it right in there.
I think people forget the Port Huron Museum, we logged 44,000
That's
hours
a good
of
picture
volunteer.
of you.
Why, thank you.
There she is, my beautiful bride. This is Public Enemy number 1. I can see the face of Dillinger, Youngblood, the great South Park shootout. We actually have Youngblood's fingerprints. When they broke out of jail in Indiana, Youngblood actually came to Port Huron and actually was shot up here. This is the lineup. We like to add little interactives for the kids.
Talk a little bit about bathtub gin, which they didn't actually make the gin in the bathtub. The containers were so big that they couldn't cut the alcohol in the sink, so they had to cut it in the bathtub. So that's where it gets the nickname from.
I'll have to ask you a question about that later because my dad told me he did it. Go ahead. This is a player piano or a regular?
This is our rendition at the Speakeasy.
Okay.
Everything from sometimes the telephones were actually jump wired so that they could quickly call in and say vacate now. People forget that these speakeasies were everywhere. You would find them in basements, you would find them in attics, rooms that didn't exist would just show up. This is some of the gaming and some of the glassware from the 1920s.
This is the lobby. This is part of the mezzanine. Like we said before, we hadn't really touched the mezzanine in a while. It's normally local history.
Right.
But this is what we added onto for this exhibit, and that is kind of a recreation of the Union Hotel that used to be in downtown Port Huron.
The reason I picked the Union Hotel wasn't because we had a ton of artifacts on the Union Hotel. It was because it was the working class man's drinking
Okay.
hole.
Drinking hole, okay.
So when I got into the stories, and it takes over a year to put together, to design and fabricate these shows, we pull these stories. There's so many stories that we actually pull, and the few that actually make it into the show. This is actually the bedroom setup of the Union Hotel. You'll look at the size of the bed itself. All the artwork is done by Blue Water Art that's been part of the Port Huron Museum since 1958.
Wow. Well, that's right. There's quite a collection of art there at the museum.
This is the
Look at the
registration. Yes, the ceiling. We did a full restoration of the mezzanine. So
Wow.
even all the artwork. Go ahead.
This is where you can actually learn how to dance the Charleston.
Oh,
Again, we wanted to do just some fun little interactives for kids, and actually I think I see the parents dancing a little bit more than the kids up there. But we have a TV screen so you can watch some video, and then you can see the feet printed down on the floor so that you can dance along.
That's cool. Great idea.
This is one of my favorite rooms. This is actually a little gambling room, and you can't really tell, but there's a cutout, and you actually have to lift up like a little door and peek through.
Oh my
So
God.
it's like a little hidden gambling center.
Oh my God.
This is pouring the booze back into the streets. At first, when the feds would come in, the police department, they would try to break up the booze, and they were actually pouring them down the toilets and ruining the drains. So they decided they had to take them out into the streets. So this was our rendition, and we had never, I think to my knowledge, had never had a fountain on the Port Huron Museum floor. So I built a fountain with the 1930s St. Clair County Sheriff's uniform guarding the booze being poured back into the streets.
Oh my God. And that's a still.
That is a still from 1933. We call this the still house. People forget that, we were making booze actually a year prior to it because Michigan had started with Prohibition a year before the rest of the country did.
Well, that's quite a collection of pictures you've got there.
Thank you.
And there's our car.
Oh, it's a beautiful shot of the car. A lot of fun. It takes, like I said, without the volunteers,
Yes.
we have 4 sites, so 44,000 hours of volunteer hours go into this. We enjoy every minute working together and coming up with these great ideas, and we'll sit and have development meetings that will last 2-3 hours.
Because you're having fun.
Yes.
Behind the Barrel opens September 13th and runs through
January 11th.
January the 11th, and so that's a good long run.
Yes, it is.
Is it open 7 days a week?
No, we are actually open Wednesday through Sunday, 11 to 4.
Okay. And there's an admission charge?
There is an admission charge. Like all of our sites, they're free for museum members, but if you're not a member, it is $7 for adults,
Oh, well, that's not bad.
$5 for students and seniors.
What's a membership?
A membership, we have different levels of membership, so you'd have to check our website for
Okay.
that. But we do have family memberships, which is 2 adults and up to 4 kids, seniors, students, and then an individual as
Okay.
well.
You've got something coming up October 17th, which ties everything together. Talk to me about that.
It does. Well, it's actually our 3rd year that we're doing Hoptoberfest. And
Say that again?
Our 3rd year.
Hop? Well, I heard that.
Oh, Hoptoberfest.
Hoptoberfest.
Yes.
Okay, what's a Hoptoberfest?
Well, we hop from location to location.
Okay, I like that.
So the first 2 years, we started at the lighthouse. We hopped onto the trolley and went to the lightship, and then to the Thomas Edison Depot, and then back to the lighthouse again. This year, with the Prohibition exhibit, we thought it perfect to tie in
Yeah.
at the Carnegie Center. So we'll start at the lighthouse again.
Yeah.
We'll head back to the Carnegie Center, and we have food, drinks, and music. Fifth Avenue will be playing that night. It's a jazz band, and we're there for about an hour or so, and then we hop back onto the trolley, head back to the lighthouse for dinner, drinks, and then Cliff Erickson will actually be there that night.
Okay, he's a busy guy.
Yes, he is.
Busy guy. Well, and that, what are the tickets for that?
The tickets for that are $65, but another perk of being a member, you can actually get a discount, and it's
Oh.
$55
Oh, okay,
for
very good,
members.
very good. And all this stuff is available, this information, on your website, which is?
Our website is www.phmuseum.org. You can also find the information on our Facebook page, which is just Port Huron Museum, or by calling us. You can call our front desk at 982-0891.
This has just been a wonderful spot for you guys to land here, and you've certainly contributed so much to the Port Huron Museum. We salute both of you for your work here.
Well, thank you.
It's,
Thank you.
It's good. And this one here, I went to the last one, and we'll be attending this one. It just, you do great work.
Oh, thank you so much. People always know our passion is definitely in what we do.
Right.
And anywhere from the 3rd graders to the Red Hat ladies.
All right, well, you brought this along, and I love the name of it. It's Cough for Coughs and Colds. What's the story here?
Well, actually, during Prohibition, although it was illegal to consume or to make and consume and sell and transport the alcohol, if you had a prescription for alcohol, then it was completely legal. So as you see on that bottle, I don't know how well you can read it, but it actually says for coughs and colds, but that is a whiskey bottle.
But it was only for you if you were sick.
Yes. Yeah, only
So it's sort of, as Brian Neiman said before we started, it's sort of like medicinal marijuana.
Yes. You would have to get a
Same
prescription.
effect.
Same effect. You
Same
get a
effect.
prescription, and your pharmacist once every 2 weeks, you could go home with a small bottle of whiskey.
Where did you find this bottle?
When we decided we were going to do a show on Prohibition, we started to comb archives. And people forget that we have over 50,000 artifacts in our collection. We started pulling the bottles together that we like to tell a good story on. And just the whole pharmacy section.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So we started to pull our bottles.
The Tomlin Pharmacy.
The Tomlin
is
collection.
up there. And,
Yes.
Great stuff. You guys do great work.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We have a lot of fun doing it. I'm not going to lie.
And you've got another historian coming along in November.
Yes, we do.
A little-
Yep.
Next big exhibit right here.
All right.
30 days out.
Very nice
Thank
to
you
see
so
you.
much.
Thanks so much.
Well,
Good
thank you
seeing
so much.
Always a pleasure. Quick reminder about something else that's just came across my desk. Please let everyone know at Cargill, that we're working very hard the next several weeks to have a memorial completed this fall for the Fallen Heroes Memorial. You should notice that the site has been marked, foundation pedestal is poured, erected in August. The landscaping and placing of dedicated engraved paver bricks should start next week. We've heard from the sculptor that the statue will arrive back in his shop in London, Ontario this month, and final touches and inspection will be ready to ship to St. Clair late in October or early November. So that's the latest word from Tom McCartney in thanking Cargill, who's obviously a great neighbor, City of St. Clair, on behalf of the City Council and the Fallen Heroes Memorial Committee. So that's something to look forward to. as the fall progresses. That's about it for this edition of the Focus program. Thanks very much for tuning in. Till next time, Paul Dingeman. See you soon.